Hey guys, okay, so watching all this free agency stuff has got me itching for some fantasy football. So, saw some rankings come out today from theScore for 2021 player rankings. So I want to go through that on theScore and FantasyPros and go through our roll time decisions on some keepers and maybe some trade moves that I can do. Let's do it. Okay, so I've got up here our Sleeper League, Sleeper app here with our Roll Tide League. Now, if you remember last time I had this up, it was all messed up. We couldn't see people's rosters. We just kind of made it work. It wasn't great. Well, Kyle has rolled the league forward to the 2021 season. As you can see here, like no draft time's been set. Our league has been filled. Commission can begin draft whenever. So anyways, it's rolled it forward, and now we can look at people's rosters, which is great. So we will come back to this. Actually, let's pull up my roster really quick. We'll see you can set keepers, propose trades, because we have our draft picks that we can trade. Okay, so here was my roster that I finished the season with. I did actually use a kicker. It was Tyler Bass, and he won me the championship. Yeah, that was nice for Monday night. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so let's go over here. This is the one that I saw earlier on my phone. I bookmarked it. I was like, yes, let's go look at this. So theScore has your 2021 player rankings with the free agency update, so it's pretty new. Roll Tide League is a half PPR league, so I'm going to look there. I actually want to look at the top 200 there because I want to see overall rankings, not just a certain position. Mostly because I don't know what position I want to keep. Typically, I'm keeping as many running backs, workhorse running backs as possible in that league. But, man, running backs have just become so inconsistent. And when I look over here, I'm looking at my most consistent players, honestly, were Davante Adams and Travis Kelce. They were my most consistent. And them getting hurt, it just didn't really happen, right? Derrick Henry, beast, right? But we all know the talk about him wearing down, things of that sort. Austin Eckler, again, got injured this year. He didn't get hurt. Stud. Aaron Jones, ooh, really. Anyways, let's go back on these rankings. So, okay, so he's top 200. Let's see who they have overall top 200. Here we go. McCaffrey, Cook, Alvin Kamara. Okay. So these people are all taken, not being traded, right? Dalvin Cook is getting traded from Nick to Ben in a deal that they made. So these guys are all taken, luckily, by different people. Each one of them is owned by a different person. Now, starting at 5, let's see. I currently roster 5, 6, and 7 with Derrick Henry, Davante Adams, and Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones got a huge bump when Jamal Adams was kicked to the curb. So they're not going to pay that man and not give him his money. Hopefully, maybe they'll finally unleash Aaron Jones, right? So Aaron Jones wasn't even on my radar as a keeper, honestly, until that move when they got rid of Jamal Williams. Granted, the draft can always screw things up. They always seem to screw things up for Aaron Jones. But then you skip down here. Let's see. These guys are all owned by other people too. Not a lot of repeat owners down here. I mean, I get all the way down to number 12, Travis Kelce, also on my roster, and then Eckler's down here at 20. Now, we have talked about moving to a full PPR, full point PPR instead of half point. If that happens, guys, that's going to change things for me. Austin Eckler bumps way up, and those rankings are probably up here. Actually, we'll look at those in a second, too. If that happens, that changes everything. So that's a discussion going on with the league right now. I prefer not to. That was what my vote was. It's pretty split down the middle on that, so we'll see. But as it stands right now with the half-point PPR, honestly, I'm settling on Davante Adams and Travis Kelce. And the reason for that is red zone targets and just targets in general, targets. Half point PPR, even full point PPR, my gosh. they're going to rack up some points, guys. So, honestly, they're the reason I won. Devontae Adams one time in one game had, in the second round of the playoffs, he had only 30-something yards receiving, but he had 10 receptions. So he just racked up a bunch of points on receptions, and it was incredible. So it killed my opponent in one league that I was playing against, in a standard scoring league. He didn't get any points against me, and it helped me in the league that I had Devontae Adams because it was half PPR, so I racked up extra points there. Everything kind of worked out perfect for me last year in all my leagues. It was odd, and I loved it. Anyways, so this is what I'm kind of looking at here. Let's go over to FantasyPros really quick. Okay, so they have their draft rankings for 2021 out too. I want to change this over to half PPR, and let's go to overall so we can kind of look and see where theirs is at. Looks like, man, those are lining up pretty exact all the way down through Devontae Adams. Then they have Aaron Jones down at 10 instead of 7, like Score did. And then they have Travis Kelce at 13, Eckler all the way up at 15. Calvin Ridley is up from 23 to 17 over on this one. Gosh, Patrick Mahomes up at 20. That is high for a quarterback. That's interesting. I don't value quarterbacks near that much. That's because from year to year, I mean, you never know who you're... I mean, look, Jalen Hurts steps in. He's fantasy relevant. You can find relevant quarterbacks at any time. Keeping one is just not for me. I mean, I think we all saw what happened to people who got caught in keeping some quarterbacks last year. I won't mention that because I think that's going to hurt Kyle's feelings. Anyway, so this, I mean, let's just look at our top 13 here. Again, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the top 13 on theirs, maybe 5 of the top 15. But again, Eckler would only be even an option if we went to full PPR, not a half PPR for me. So let's see. God, Derrick Henry's up there. Agreed, can't argue with that. I mean, he did fantastic. Come back over here. This isn't going to show me what I want. It's 2020. Does it do like a overall points? 2020 had 323.6 points. Devontae Adams 2020 had 300. I mean, he had less overall points. And then Travis Kelce had 260. So when you're looking at overall points, Henry seems to make the most sense because he's going to add the most points average per week or whatever. But the thing with Travis Kelce is that that position, it gives me such an advantage at that position to have a consistent tight end. Let's look at him again. Here. I mean, gosh, look at these numbers week to week. He had one bad week at Denver in week 7 with 4.6, and then 2, where he didn't score double digits. But the rest of these, he's scoring double digits. Name me another tight end that puts up points like that. Maybe Kittle, but he can't stay healthy. Travis Kelce, I mean, that is a huge advantage. That won me games throughout the season. Travis Kelce won me games, and that seems crazy maybe to keep a tight end over, Derrick Henry or Aaron Jones, maybe even Eckler, but trust me, guys, it's worth it. This would be my first year doing it, too. He was actually kept last year by Ray. Smart move, ended up trading for him. Pretty sure he kept Kelce. If not, he was drafted really early. So if I let him go back to the draft, I'm not getting him. I don't have a first, second round pick. Even if I did, I couldn't get him that early. So, that ain't happening. So I think I have to keep Travis Kelce. Now it's deciding on the others. So running backs are really hard to get. Really hard to get. Derrick Henry doesn't catch the ball that much. Aaron Jones catches the ball some. Let's see what we got. His overall points for last year. Oh, right here, 235, right? And he's got 2 games out completely there. He's got this outlier of 43, so that helped him, but who doesn't get a game like that now and then, right? I mean, he puts up pretty good points, and that's when sharing. I mean, he does pretty good. Now, we'll have to see what his coaches say about him. But anyways, let's go over here. Let's see if we change to full point PPR. Let's change that over in both of these leagues. And just out of curiosity, if we go there, what are we looking at? So that should change the thing. Okay, PPR overall. See, they've got Devontae Adams in at number 5. And then Aaron Jones. See, he pops way up. Derrick Henry drops all the way down to 9. And then Travis Kelce goes up to 11. Yeah, these make sense. Eckler somehow at 19. Did he drop? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Oh no, maybe he was at 23 on there. Still, I'm sorry. I'm not putting that many guys above him there. I don't think. Jeez. They threw to Zeke more, but let's see. Well, maybe. I mean, gotta take that back. Look at everyone above him. Miles Sanders, maybe not. I might switch them and Cam Akers. I may move after that. Let's see what FantasyPros said. Let's see. Honestly, I use FantasyPros a lot. I love FantasyPros. But let's see. Yeah, look, they've got. I tend to agree more with FantasyPros, honestly. The problem here with Jonathan Taylor too is that he was just kind of unleashed at the end of the year. We don't really know. We just don't have big enough sample size, so it's really hard to say what's going on there. Oh, look at this. Kyle's watching my stream here, and he's got insight to my opponent. Yeah, that does suck. Yeah, he gets to see all of my thoughts and strategies, but that's fine. Like this is fine. I love doing this and sharing this with you guys. And Kyle can suck it. Okay, let's see. Aaron Jones over here, all the way down to 14. I don't know that I agree with that. They've got Travis Kelce at 17. See, they had Travis Kelce over here way up at number 11. And the problem with this isn't going to take into effect that positional advantage either. So, when you think about Travis Kelce, let's see if we can go over here and look at tight ends. 2020. Let's do 2020. And stats. I don't want to hide it on the players. How do I do this? Sorry guys, still get used to this. We've had 1 year in here and it's still learning it. I actually like the app good enough. They're constantly improving it, making improvements to it. I don't know if I can see what I want to see. I know how to use ESPN really good, so we used that for so many years. But that's stats for 2020 season. That makes a lot of sense, right? Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. Oh, points. Shh, there it is. Okay. That's so stupid. Sorry for wasting your time, guys. Travis Kelce, 260, and Darren Waller came in at 225. Waller had a hell of a season, right? But then look, 150. What? What? That's crazy. Now, Gronk got some points there at the end. He came on. He finally started getting used, but no thanks. I had him at the when they first announced he was coming back, I picked him up. And crap, he's just not consistent. But I don't think that's going to change. He's just not in his prime. I started off with Mark Andrews. That's who I drafted, and I traded him and getting Kelce. I traded him while he was hot down here. He got some games, and then he kind of fell off. Let's just look at Darren Waller. Holy crap. Yeah, he had a strong season, guys. I mean, he did really well. But it looks like the Raiders are picking up maybe similar passing options, so he won't be as alone anymore. But man, he's a freak too. He's good. He's a couple years younger, but his quarterback's not near as good either. I don't trust that near as good. So again, Travis Kelce, consistent, but that's year after year too. Like, let's see. We can come down here to his career, 260, 205, 243. I think he's consistent. Yep. That's what you need right there is consistency. So Darren Waller, he had a good year last year. The year before that, it was kind of his breakout year in 2019. So still, again, not a huge sample size, but how many of these guys have one good year and they're done? Kelce, year after year, just crushing it. So big advantage there, just pointing that out. Okay, now with that all being said, and I know my video is going 15, 16 minutes already, but I want to go over here into our league. And the one thing I want to point out, because now things change, right? Now, last time I talked about Donnie and maybe trying to trade him Adams or Jones or something like that. Again, if I can make some of these trades, it'll help me make my decision on who my keepers are. Because right now, guys, I just don't know, right? These guys are ranked so close, and whatever decision I make, it's going to be the wrong one. You know, that guy will get hurt in preseason game warming up or something and be out for the season, and I'm screwed. That's just typically my luck. But Austin is a big Kansas City fan. And let's look at his team really quick. Tyreek Hill, you know he's keeping Tyreek Hill. He's got DeAndre Swift. Okay. Because he had Josh Jacobs, and I know Josh Jacobs is going to be his keeper. I think Tyreek Hill and Josh Jacobs. And Jacobs' value just tanked hard. So, no thank you. So, that opens up an opportunity. Everything I just said about Kelce, we could still trade him. I don't have a first, second round pick. That hurts. I could really use a first round pick back. And if Austin is willing to trade me that first round pick for that, I think that's the only way I would get rid of Kelce. I don't think I could do a first round or a second round pick for him. I don't know that I want to give someone else that advantage. And Austin's won the league a couple times already, so that kind of comes into play too. Don't want to give him that many advantages. Having Tyreek Hill. Anyways, DeAndre Swift. Let's come back over here to half PPR. Let's see where we're at on these rankings with half PPR. And let's just see where old Swifty boy is. Oh, 35. Yeah. So he's not looking too high over here. 23 over here, a lot higher than Joe Mixon. Kittle. Dobbins. I like Dobbins this coming year. Josh Jacobs. Man, he tanked. That is insane. Probably the biggest hosing of the offseason. So what sucks for Austin is he just traded to have Josh Jacobs as his keeper, and then boom, slapped right across the face with that. So anyways, this is something I have to keep an eye on. Even if it's not Kelce, if he wants, Henry, Eckler would be a little bit cheaper, a second round pick or something. And then, Henry, Adams, Jones, some of these guys got to start taking some of these players off my hands so that I can have my decisions made for me, because right now I'm struggling with that. Anyways, that's kind of where we're at now. Check out these rankings, guys. They're really helpful. I know it's super early. One thing I wanted to point out in here, I thought I saw earlier. Oh, I could be wrong. I thought they had already plugged in where they thought some of these rookies would be at. Oh yeah, here we go. Look, see, they're already kind of. Look, Josh Jacobs is behind Najee Harris, and he hasn't even been drafted, guys. Like, poor Jacobs, poor Austin. Okay. Anyways, check out some of these rankings, guys. They're going to be really helpful. They're good tools for me. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. See ya.